Imagine working hard every single day, just to be treated as if you're invisible. Emily knew that feeling all too well. She wasn't asking for luxury, just a fair chance. But the world doesn't always reward those who fight the hardest. Some people think that money gives them the right to humiliate others. And that's exactly what happened that night. It started as just another exhausting shift at the restaurant, until Emily's past came back to haunt her. Her ex, now wealthy, walked in with a woman who looked like she had stepped out of a fashion magazine. The problem? He didn't just ignore Emily, he made sure to humiliate her in front of everyone. And then, things got even worse. Publicly embarrassed and unfairly fired, Emily felt her whole world collapse. But fate had other plans. A man sitting at a nearby table stood up, and from that moment, everything changed. What started as a nightmare turned into something no one could have expected. Get ready for a story that proves life always comes full circle, and sometimes, those at the top forget that they can fall. And those at the bottom? They can rise stronger than ever. Emily was a single mom, balancing trays at an upscale restaurant while life threw challenge after challenge at her. Every shift was a battle, smiling at rude customers, working long hours, and barely making enough to care for her son, Oliver. But giving up was never an option. She pushed through, knowing she had to survive. No one saw the skipped meals, the sleepless nights worrying about bills, or the way she patched up second-hand clothes just to make them last. But Emily? She kept going, because failure was not an option. That night, something changed. As Emily moved between tables, she suddenly froze. Sitting in the restaurant's best spot was Nathan, her ex-boyfriend and Oliver's father, laughing, carefree, and clearly well off. Next to him sat a woman dressed in designer clothes, her jewelry probably worth more than Emily made in a year. Nathan glanced at her for a second, smirked, then looked away. To him, Emily was just an old chapter, something he had left behind without regret. But for her, this was a brutal reminder that while she struggled, he was living in comfort. "Oh wow, you work here?" Nathan's voice dripped with fake surprise. His girlfriend chuckled, whispering loudly enough for Emily to hear. "Didn't you have bigger dreams?" The words hit like a slap, but Emily refused to react. She wouldn't give them the satisfaction of seeing her break. But fate had another cruel twist. Just as she turned to leave, a glass of wine slipped from her tray, spilling all over the woman's expensive dress. The restaurant went silent. The woman's face turned red with rage, and before Emily could explain, Nathan called the manager. "I think it's time she finds another job." And just like that, Emily was fired, publicly, unfairly, and without a chance to defend herself. "Oh wow, you work here?" Nathan's voice dripped with fake surprise. His girlfriend chuckled, whispering loudly enough for Emily to hear. "Didn't you have bigger dreams?" The words hit like a slap, but Emily refused to react. She wouldn't give them the satisfaction of seeing her break. But fate had another cruel twist. Just as she turned to leave, a glass of wine slipped from her tray, spilling all over the woman's expensive dress. The restaurant went silent. The woman's face turned red with rage, and before Emily could explain, Nathan called the manager. "I think it's time she finds another job." And just like that, Emily was fired, publicly, unfairly, and without a chance to defend herself. But then, a deep voice cut through the tension. "That's enough." The entire restaurant turned toward the man who had spoken. He wasn't just any customer, he was Elon Musk, one of the richest and most influential men in the world. Firing a hardworking woman over an accident, he challenged, his piercing gaze locked onto the manager. "That's unbelievable. You don't deserve employees like her." The manager stuttered, caught off guard. And suddenly, Emily, who had just been tossed aside, wasn't so small anymore. "Actually," Elon continued, gesturing to an open VIP table. "Emily, sit with me." The entire restaurant gasped. Nathan's smug expression vanished. The woman they had just humiliated was now being treated like someone important. Emily hesitated, this felt surreal. but something in Elon's confident expression told her to accept. So, she sat down. And for the first time that night, she wasn't the one serving, she was the one being served. As they talked, Elon saw something special in Emily: strength, intelligence, and determination. "What do you really want to do?" he asked. Emily hesitated. No one had asked her that in years. I always wanted to manage a business," she admitted. Elon leaned back, thinking. "Then let's make that happen." And just like that, an opportunity was born, not out of luck, but because Emily had spent years proving she was worth more than the world had given her credit for. The next few days were life-changing. Emily took a new job as a household manager in Elon's estate, earning 3 times what she made before. But it wasn't just about the money. Elon became a mentor, guiding her through leadership books, business strategies, and new opportunities. She wasn't just working anymore, she was growing. And for the first time in a long time, she started believing that her future could be bigger than just survival. As time passed, Emily and Elon grew closer. Late-night conversations, shared ambitions, and mutual respect turned into something deeper. Could this be more than just a professional opportunity? Could life really offer a second chance, not just in career, but in love? As she watched Oliver laughing in the garden of Elon's estate, a thought crossed her mind. Maybe, just maybe, the worst night of her life had led her to the best thing that had ever happened to her. Life has a strange way of testing us. Emily went through humiliation, loss, and hopelessness, but she never let that define her. And in the end, what seemed like the worst day of her life turned into the beginning of something greater. Now, think about this. How many times have you felt underestimated, ignored, or treated unfairly? How many times has the world tried to convince you that you weren't good enough? If this story teaches anything, it's that no one gets to decide your worth, except you. If Emily had accepted her humiliation and given up, this story would have had a completely different ending. But she didn't. And you? Will you rise when life knocks you down? Leave a comment below. Have you ever felt undervalued but proved everyone wrong? Share your story, it might inspire someone else. And of course, if you love real and emotional stories that show how life can turn around in an instant, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. We have many more incredible stories coming up, and trust me, you won't want to miss them.